Abductors of travelers on Owo-Ifon Road in Ose local government area in Ondo State have demanded 90 million naira ransom from families of the victims for their release. The State Commissioner for Information and Orientation, Bamidele Ademola-Olateju, informed newsmen in Akure that 18 passengers abducted in the bus are with the kidnappers, while 9 have regained their freedom. Ondo State, that is my local government. That's Ose local government. The Owo-Ifon Road, I think Ifon to Imoru should be like 5-10 minutes drive demarcation to Jagba within the whole, that Ose local government. Before now, we've been getting complaints that even farmers could not access their farmland. Yes, they've taken over their farmland. They dare not go into their farms to farm. When they want to farm, they go together. They go in group, and it's very, very dangerous. Now, all is not well with the people in Ose local government. Now, they are asking for 90 million naira. People that were traveling, So,
how would they get the money?
90 million naira for abducted people.
And you see, this is just sad and very unfortunate. It is the kind of thing that when you hear them, you wonder if we still have anything called government and if there is still anything called governance in these parts of the world. You see, gradually we are seeing what is happening in the far north, happening consistently in the southern part and in the southwest.
These are pictures of people abducted. They were actually coming from the function.
They went for a party, and in fact, 32 of them were in that bus.
Where do you want these people to get?
These ones, how do you get
90 million naira?
Look at them. Look at them.
These are young men.
Yes.
They're just starting their lives.
And you see, it's just too sad. But I tell you that the relatives of these ones will do anything to get that money to secure their release. Already, the Ondo State government has come out to tell us that they don't negotiate with kidnappers, and that they are not going to negotiate with kidnappers, because when you negotiate with criminals, you embolden them to continue. But the relatives of these ones are not going to keep quiet.
They're not going to wait for the government.
They are not going to wait for government, and they are not going to say, because government is not helping us, we are not going to help ourselves. If they have houses, they are going to sell them. Look at these young people. From the look of things of these people, do you think they even have 1 million naira in their accounts in Nigeria's present economic situation? So it's so sad. Look at everything. But if they have to sell their houses, if they have to borrow, whatever they need to do, they have to do it in order to secure the release of their loved ones. Now the question is, for how long? For how long are we going to continue with this? Because already
industry is booming.
It's booming. That's what I want to say. That already we have been told that the ones that were kidnapped last, is it in Samfara or where, that they use them on the farm. When they are not able to pay ransom, they take them to farmlands and they are using them as slaves to be working on the farmlands. So for how long do we want to continue with this kind of situation? That is why I told you earlier on that
in your own country.
Yes, that it seems as if there is no modicum of governance in the land. When you see this kind of thing happening from time to time, I'm not saying that, even in the best of the worlds where there are, the developed ones, that we don't have security issues. We have security issues, but we are talking about the intensity and the frequency and the
across
particular,
the country.
It's even a certain level of crime. Not that you are doing robbery here, kidnapping or whatever. We are talking about a kidnap industry, a booming kidnap industry. And we cannot do anything about it. And it is spreading and spreading and spreading. For how long do we put up with this kind of situation.
And the family of these people that were abducted, definitely they're on their own. In any country, government will be there to assure them, to tell that we're doing everything we need to do around the clock to get, your family members back. But in a situation whereby the state government does not want to negotiate, and they'll be at the mercy of this family to negotiate, to talk directly with the terrorists, the bandits.
The most worrying aspect of it all is that when you take a look at the picture we have seen, it could have been one's brother, it could have been one's sister, it could have been one's relative or one's son or daughter and all that. And then you ask yourself, when this young man comes out, when these young men come out of this trial now, of this ordeal, will anybody want to tell them that there is a government in Nigeria and they will not scoff at you? Will anybody want to tell them that government cares about you and they will not scoff at you? And then you begin to ask yourself, there's this current talk now, Japa and all that.
Yeah.
When you see young people,
they
tell you they have completely lost hope in this country. These are the kind of things that lead to that. Because now, the other time I said that Ondo State has become like a testing ground into the Southwest.
Let's pick this call. Ade is calling us from London. Thank you for joining us, Ade.
Ayo, my greeting to the panelists there.
Yes, go ahead.
My contribution to this issue, because it's bothering me seriously. If there's a news now that they kidnapped 30 cows, Garba will issue notice on Asoro. Now, my governor in Ondo State asked for Amatekun to be harmed. They refuse. But they can give arm to Sao Paulo to protect the petrol, because that is their own interest. Human life is not their interest. My people are now in the forest, kidnapped. In my town now, they have kidnapped, they are in the forest now. For purpose of not their own. The government failed to provide security for our people. They are now languishing in the forest. Where are they going to get 90 million? My governor keep on crying. Give Amatekun ammunition, they refuse. But they want Sao Paulo to have all the weapons. And if they say they keep 10 cows in Ondo now, Garba will talk. God will rescue Nigeria. I know that. We should keep on praying for Nigeria. God will rescue Nigeria. This federal government, they have no clue what to do at all.
Thank you, Ade. Thank you for your contribution. And I say amen to your prayer that God will rescue Nigeria.
Ondo State is being used now as a testing ground.
The whole of Ose local government is under siege.
It's under siege. And
Jagba,
you begin to ask yourself,
Owo,
what exactly do we have a government for? You might blame, people might continue to blame the state governors from now till eternity.
We can't even blame the state government.
Okay, he just spoke now about Amatekun. Who will give them arms?
The limits. Okay,
there's a limit.
If bandits, heavily armed bandits can attack Kuje prison.
So
how will
Amatekun armed? What about Amatekun that they just go around with
I even think Amatekun even is helping in Ondo State.
Yes.
Because at least 9 of them escaped.
Yes.
And Amatekun were the people that rescued 7 of them.
Others.
7 in the forest. Because they said that Amatekun got to the scene 15 minutes after a call was put through to them. So which means that if not for Amatekun self, the 32 people, they were 32 and they kidnapped.
Maybe all of them will have been taken.
All of them will have been. So Amatekun is trying his best, in spite of the fact that they were not well harmed.
Yes.
Yes, they are still trying. But I mean, how can you compare?
And with the new bill signed into law so that they can be carrying.
I think that is why we talk about restructuring, and that is why we also talk about. We will still come back to this issue of state police. We still come back to the fact that we should allow states to police themselves. Now, there is a limit to what Amatekun can carry because by law they cannot carry arms.
Yeah.
So how do you expect Amatekun to even confront
somebody carrying an RPG? rocket-propelled
So
bullets.
how do you?
Even if it is
Or
AK-47 they are carrying,
they
Amotekun
even-
is not carrying any.
it's
So
not-
how will they not?
Maybe
See
Amotekun
the
is
bullets of
carrying
the
game
anti-aircraft,
gun.
Yeah.
with them.
So
The issue now is that government must come to terms with what exactly we want to do. Is it that you are now going to say you have a wedding in the next town, then you will not go? Or you have a birthday party or whatever social. In fact, you know that such things are the things that keep the economy moving. Because you can see the uniform they are wearing. Somebody sold it to them, they paid, and so no matter how small, somebody is getting money to do. So if you now kill that industry, you now allow bandits to take over everywhere, you can't travel from one town to the other, and then you begin, I mean,
Just imagine
what
what
is government for?
these people will pass through.
Exactly.
Days
When I
ahead.
look at these faces,
The more they stay with them,
I mean, when I look at these faces, I see young girls, you look at this one, young girls, and
what
so
will you be doing? Okay, those ones with the Abuja
The
train,
Kaduna, yes.
Kaduna
Kaduna
Abuja
train,
yes.
for 6 months now.
Yeah.
How would they be feeding them? How would they be? They will be wearing the same clothes, and where would they be sleeping?
They are subjected to the weather. So when it is raining, they sleep maybe under a tree. We don't even know whether the tree there is a snake there or whatever. I mean,
Okay, now my own problem here is
Yeah.
that we've not done things that will serve as deterrent to these kidnappers, apart from the air bombardment.
yes, that is what I
And
wanted to
the
talk
success rate that we've recorded in terms of rescue is almost zero.
about. Yeah. My fear now is that this thing has become a trend, an acceptable
Yes.
one.
For such a rescue,
Yeah, nothing. It's like it has now become part of our psyche that, okay, kidnapping is one of those things. That is even the dangerous dimension. Initially, you will even see governments, everybody talking about it.
Yeah.
Now, nobody talks about it. It's like another kidnap. One of those things. And it also coming back to your question. It's like that because it shows the level of our nonchalance towards the matter. We are not taking it as a serious issue. That is why we are not even arresting people. You remember when kidnapping was kidnapping, when it initially started.
in Niger Delta,
Yes.
And the time they even arrested our kingpin, the Evans.
Yes.
You know the rate at which everybody, everywhere, was like a major criminal has been arrested and all of that.
Thinking that would be the end of it.
But in all of this, have you heard of any major kingpin among these terrorists, or I don't know what to call them, arrested at all? No. And that is why it keeps going on.